When you channelize your energies towards one thing, it will work out. Hi everyone, I'm Deepthi of New Delhi, and no, that was no gyan from me. But on second thoughts, you should grab on to that piece of advice because it comes from the man who churned 100 crore business out of milkshakes. And you heard me right. I have the co-founder of the biggest milkshake brand that we know, Keventers. Sohrab Sitaram is here with me.
Thank you.
Hi
So much.
Sohrab, welcome to What's Up New Delhi.
Thank you so much.
And I must say it is an honor and a pleasure to be sitting across to someone who had a vision which I think was denied by everyone, and then you went ahead and proved them wrong.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about your journey to Keventers. I mean, we know it is a revolution.
As in how what I did, or
Yes,
you're asking
your
about-
journey and how you got around to creating Keventers as a kind of revolution that we all.
Yeah, that time Keventers was an old world brand. It was started by Mr. Edward Keventers, and that time India did not have the technology, and he came and set up a dairy plant. And post that, what happened was that he went and by the Dalmia family. Okay, and so in the 1960s, Dalmia family, we had a factory in SP Manchaman, and that shut shop. And because there were many distributors around, so there was no Keventers, but a few distributors then kept the name Keventers, and that's how, and milkshake was a popular item even at that time, but Keventers was, at that time Keventers used to manufacture everything, right from butter, ghee, ice cream. In fact, Keventers also the originator of cassata, so there were many things. And then it so happened at that time, but 1960s, of course, I think I was not even born, but I was in the business of restaurants, and I used to work for the Taj earlier, and I put a good 7 years with the Taj group, and then I started my own business in the year 2000. So I still remember the year 2014, I think like 2014, that's when these two young boys came, the wonderful entrepreneurs. One was Agastya Dalmia, who owns the brand, and Aman, a dear friend, and both of them had this vision that they want to set up Keventers. Okay, and these two sharp entrepreneurs, but of course they were still figuring out, they did not know too much of F&B. So that's how. And so we guys met, and we hit it off pretty well. And the remarkable thing is, at that point of time, even I had never done, I was always in the business of alcohol. So I'd only done bars and nightclubs, and so we sat together, and we decided that yes, it was a great way. This was a business that was scalable. There were many people who told us, yeah, get into the manufacturing business, don't get into the business of retail, it's difficult, how will you make money? And then we that we'll do just, and everybody was shocked, especially the gurus of the industry, so-called. so all of them came and convened and said, oh my God, yeah, how can you even think of this variety and more variety? So that's when we said that we need to be different, and we did a lot of homework. We actually brought the essence of the milkshakes back, the essence of the culture. Indian culture has always been that no matter we used to pour our water in the glass bottle and always store it, and we've used the glass bottle for many things, right? So here was an opportunity where we could actually, somebody could buy Keventers, and this was the way it was, a milkshake was served, or how milk was served, let's put it. And the glass bottle was fantastic, because even though we were spending a lot on the bottle itself compared to what others were spending on these plastics and paper cups. I don't know if anybody was using paper cups, but plastics definitely everybody was using. And we thought that this idea was revolutionary, where we'd actually do that, and it really worked for us. And the packaging was fantastic, and of course there were many things. I thought it was done in a tasteful manner. It was, we always did our branding where we showcased India in a very positive light. We always showed a progressing India, a progressive India. We never went into the fact that India is the while we really spoke a lot about our heritage, but always it was India progressing. And if you look around our branding, especially when it was done at that time, it was always back.
Right.
So that's how we sat together, and there were many things. Yeah, I mean there was branding, there was this, there was the whole business strategy. So there were many things. I think all of us, the three of us, and I think credit must go to each one of us because we've all worked very hard on this, and we've taken it.
Of course, and no denying that, because as I was telling you earlier also, Keventers has been, my favorite milkshake ever since I was a kid.
Right.
Because I think the first one was in Connaught Place, as I told you. So it was
Right.
like a done thing, and still is. So I don't know. I don't think Keventers has ever gone down. As far as I think it's created a breed of Keventers freaks. And I include myself here, most definitely.
Yeah, I think it's great to see, and that was something that we did well. We made the brand very Instagrammable. So if you like, now everybody uses this buzzword Instagrammable. The thing is, there's a lot of thought that actually went behind making it Instagrammable. One was the bottle. The bottle itself was cool. Then there was,
The paper
and it was
straw.
not. Yeah, at that time everything related to eco-friendly environment, everything, and it meant a lot more money. See, the point is, you look at all the other companies now, including MNCs. What they do is when somebody puts a gun on their head, then they say, "Acha, change kar do. Let's not use paper straw. Let's not use plastic. Let's not do this." The thing is that you've got to be ahead in the game, and you've got to take decisions which benefit the country and the society as whole. And it should be done when the gun is not pointed on your head. Okay, and people see that when we do it. If somebody threatens you, and then you change things, what have you achieved in life, right? So that is very important. I think that something that we did well was that we were able to forecast and we were able to predict, and we wanted to generally do things for the betterment of society, for betterment of people, betterment of India, and it didn't bother us that the product is going to be expensive, increase the food cost, or it will increase, and I think we were very well supported by that time. So my point is, when you do good things for people and you do it with your heart and soul, things happen for the good. If you're doing it under the threat of somebody because the government has passed a rule, okay, there'll be no more plastic and there'll be no more, and you're doing it, what's the big? What have you achieved, right?
Absolutely.
So you've got to be. So that's something that you always, and that's what we call the ethical business, and having the vision, of being able to figure out what to do, and always trying to help others and trying to see what can we do so that it will benefit society. And of course, aspiration. We made the bottles different. In Delhi, we made the bottles very aspirational in the sense that, there were wonderful words on the bottle. If the city of Bombay, for example, you had the Bollywood inscription on the bottle. Bangalore, it was all digital.
Okay.
In Kenya, when we did it, there were the big 5 animals because that's what the safaris and all are very popular. So the thing is, it also became a collector's item. So otherwise one gets bored, the same bottle you're collecting does it. So actually, if they have a cupboard and there are different kinds of bottles that they have. And these are all limited edition bottles because what we did earlier, we'll never do it again. Every time we do something new. So if you have all those bottles, it's great to collect bottles. It's like the fridge magnet, whenever you go to a country. So in India, when you travel,
It's Keventers.
you go to Bhopal, there are Bhopal specific bottles, you go to Kenya. So that is what we had achieved earlier, and I think that's one of the reasons that we also made the brand aspirational. We made it trendy, we made it cool, and we've been positive about it. Whether it's advertising, whether it's about India, and we've always done well. And it doesn't matter if you want to spend money, just do it and do it right, and let people benefit.
Of course, I agree. If the product is good, I don't think people don't mind shelling out, a few bucks extra also. But through this journey, there must have been some influences or people who have inspired you or motivated you through the success.
Look, to be honest, I don't like to go to YouTube or look at people and TED Talks. I'm a little different when it comes to all this. They are great people, and I have not really followed people, but I think I can definitely say my young partners, because when I started my business with them, I think I was 40, if I'm not wrong. And these two young boys, Agastya at that time was 26, Amal very good at branding. He had a vision. Agastya himself, coming from the Dalmia family, he knew the nuances of business and great guys. I never expected, 26-year-olds to have this kind of vision. If there's somebody who actually have been, and I've been fortunate, I should say, to have worked with the young partners that I've had, Agastya. Very good guy when it comes to branding, the overall vision. These are the kind of people, and even my other partner, Aman Arora, great guy. And I would call him a branding guru. And a visionary, and I think both of them are visionaries. So if you ask me, I'm definitely, I think these two are great people. Best is that we've hit it off very well, yeah. We're great friends, we everything, we party together, we do things together. So I think if your vision matches, all three of you, then sky's the limit. We're really keen to do more businesses. Just trying to find out time how we can come together and do more businesses together.
Because I'm sure that's challenging. So coming to that, how...
I seriously don't have time to think about this guy and that guy because everybody has his own style.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so my style is different.
Yeah.
So
maybe personally also, somebody might have motivated you, to have that kind of a mindset to stick to your guns.
I think that, yeah. I think personally, I really look up to my brother-in-law, Jelly. I think he's a great guy. I've learned a lot from him. And him in this world, yeah, when it comes to that. So I think, yeah, so where he's concerned, I'm really influenced by him.
Oh,
I learned a lot from him.
That's awesome. But how did you challenge yourself into building Keventers as, a brand that we know now?
One thing which was very important was that a business should have scale. And if it has scale, it can only have scale if it's acceptable across India. In India, the biggest problem is that every city in India is like a different country. Okay, so if you go to Bhopal, things are different, the culture is different, tradition is different, Calcutta is completely different. Any city. It is, but it was easy because we chose a product. Look, let's be very honest, we could have chosen any product. Because Keventers had butter, ghee, ice cream, blah, 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 many other things. But the reason why we chose milkshake is because milkshake itself is quite a hero item. If you actually look at it, it's got its own style, it's got its own personality. Milkshake, and when it's not, and it does not have any geographical barriers. So that was very important for us. So if you look at North, everybody calls it a milkshake. South, everybody calls it a milkshake. Mid, East, West. It's no. Now if you look at the other brands, not brands, other food products, for example, biryani. I'm not to say it, but I feel that biryani everywhere else is not the same. Like North India, biryani is different. South biryani is different. South itself, Kerala biryani is different. Karnataka biryani is different. Hyderabadi biryani is different. So when you try to take these kind of products and the others are used to something else, then I think it's a big challenge. So we were able to overcome the challenge by actually choosing a product which everybody recognizes as a product. Okay. So that so it was easy to scale. But even scaling itself is a challenge. You've got to be, so what we realize is that you can't just, you've got to become a part of the society. So when you're going down, so you've got to be a part of them, and only if you're going to Bombay, you've got to become a part. So we worked really hard on that. And we tried everything to first become a part of the community, then get on to scaling. That was there, and the third part is systems and processes, but I think that's that ingredient, system and process is not difficult, to be honest. It's good people. So.
Right. But I'm happy you said that be a part of the community and get to the business bit of it, because not everyone starts from there. So you starting from the root and catching the heart of the people first, and I think that's just fantastic.
No, it's very important, and otherwise nobody really cares. We all were a little worried because we thought that it's a very Delhi brand, Keventers. But when we did enough homework and we went to other places, the acceptability was possibly even more. And so that was another thing. Again, the so-called gurus came and said, "Oh my God, ठीक है, you've done well in Delhi. अब बॉम्बे तो जाके देखो क्या होगा, इधर जाके देखो, it's not the same." But we did do our homework. We sharpened the axe before cutting the tree. And we spent a long time sharpening the axe, and then we actually went to these areas. And I think that's really, and you've got to become a part. And we did a very simple thing. For example, if we went to say Bangalore and we spoke about the digital world and that was there, or we used the lingo of Bangalore or Kannadigas, and there were so many. Every state is unique. Where Bombay was concerned, we talked a lot about Bollywood, and we made the model like that. So there was a lot of acceptability. This is just one of the ways. So I'm saying it may sound very complicated getting into the community and all, but actually it isn't. So if you put your mind to it, it's pretty one little thing or two little things that you need to do. But you've got to do it dil se. Now, if you just want to be because it's written in some book and you want to do it, then there's a problem.
That's true.
So people should feel you're actually there, and that can only happen if you genuinely want to make an impact in all these states, and you want to do better, and you want to. So that's how it is. So business is more ethical, it's more integrity, it's more reaching out, it's more emotional. In India, you do emotional business.
Yes.
You cannot do business which is by the book. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Yes. And I think the customers, they catch the vibe of the product also. Which
It's the way you're right, you do it, because here we treat people, employees, everybody. In India, you've got to treat them as an extended family. Now, we are not a company which treats employees like assets. The first people to get fired when your company is not making money, which is ridiculous. You should have hired them in the first place, right? That's the easiest thing to do. Because in India, people come to you, they have an emotional bonding. People are coming. They will come to you when it's their birthday or their anniversary. Yes. You can't behave like we only have systems and you please approach HR, and through HR this will happen and that will happen. I guess we are able to do it even though we've increased and the size has become bigger, but we are very, very approachable people. So I think that's the way we run our business, and it shows.
Of course it does. Of course, absolutely. The success speaks for it. And now tell us about Fat Tiger.
So Fat Tiger is another. I feel that look. So Fat Tiger is we want to do a QSR brand, okay, and we want to do it we feel that the Chinese cuisine is something which is again post Indian food. It's very popular, but nobody's really doing a QSR model. So in Chinese restaurants, so whenever you go to a restaurant, you sit for 10 or 15 minutes, and then your food order comes. It's very tasty. Everywhere, people are being able to make fantastic Chinese food. So I really don't have that. So I'm a big fan of a lot of places. But the thing is that when I looked around and I saw the food courts, the problem is that when you go to a food court and you go to a Chinese place, again the dispensing time is the same as restaurants. Okay, so you ask for dim sums or you ask for any fried rice or noodles. Let's say the basic stuff. Everything takes 10 to 15 minutes to come. Now, why the hell will I go to a QSR and waste 10 to 15 minutes over there? It's no fun here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it required an overall, which is very important. So we looked at Fat Tiger as a brand which is a fun brand and which would dispense food within 2 or 2.5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So there was a lot of technology that we've invented. We've used state-of-the-art equipment normally we've used combi ovens. People don't even dream of putting combi ovens in smaller places. Hygiene levels are fantastic. Our water is used in everything. The ice, everything is hygienic, sanitized, for a QSR brand. But more so, we've been able to dispense food in about 2.5 minutes, and it satisfies the need of people who are food on the go, which is actually a QSR. So if you look at other QSR, they're able to serve your food in 2.5 minutes, the successful ones. But if you look at any Chinese brand, they're not being able to do it because everything is made and it's taking time and everything. So there's a big gap in the market of people. Even now, others they're doing the cooking from the beginning. So it just is science. There's nothing else to it. But at the same time, we made sure the food is fresh, it's tasty, food is, and what you get is piping hot. So that's what is Fat Tiger. So that's the food bit of it. But apart from that, we're also very particular about beverages. We've introduced beverages. We've introduced the brown sugar. So we've introduced different things. For example, there's something called brown sugar teas and coffees. So brown sugar coffee is nothing but we use 3 different kinds of sugars, which are brown sugars, and then we, using our formula, we create something, and it actually sticks to the glass in such a manner that it looks like a tiger stripes.
Oh, how interesting.
Okay, and you've got bobas and pearls inside. So it's really remarkable.
Yeah.
When you have the drink, you'll say, yeah, maza hai. So you'll be giving something different. It's great. And then we also we take pride in saying that we've invented something which is something like a cheese foam, which comes on top of your tea, and it's a lethal combination of the tea and the cheese foam. When you have it, because it's also salty, you realize it just enhances the taste. So again, we're doing things which nobody else has done.
Cheese.
Yeah, cheese foam.
I'm just very inquisitive.
Yes, cheese, 4-5 things. It's actually cheese foam. With the foam, it's light but it's a lethal combination of the tea. I'm talking the cold tea, not the hot. Yeah. Because hot tea you can't do all this. So that's how it is. So again, we're trying to do things which are different. And where the food is concerned, it's the dispensing time that we've been able to ensure, which is, and that was a big gap in the market. So successfully able to counter it. And plus hygiene, sanitation, everything was a question mark. But we are very particular about all this. So that's what makes Fat Tiger very, very interesting brand. And look, we are also concentrating on food which people are familiar with. You're not doing so-called authentic Chinese, because every Indian when he goes to China he says, yeah, China you don't get Chinese food, you get Chinese food in India. Right? So we don't know what they serve. I think they serve Italian.
They're just serving vegetables.
Okay, so the problem is that you are in India. We are Indians. Why will you serve food? Everybody does. We are doing authentic. Why the hell will you do authentic? You do food for the people, na? They'll say you do food for. Why will you do something which nobody understands? China or so the idea was do something that people are also familiar with. So yes, it is a little Indianized. I think it's meant, but it is a taste that all of us have grown up and we are all familiar with. And it's a food where you have the frequency of eating. For example, even me, I'm a restaurateur and I travel everywhere. I like authentic food, that's fine. And when the people sitting with me, I say, oh yeah, maza aa gaya, authentic. But beyond a point, if I want to have the food every day, then I'd rather have food familiar with. And that is the case with everyone. See, our talks when we sit with people are different. Unless we know what we want.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think that's the bridge, that's the gap that we're trying to bridge. So we are what we speak. We do food which people like. We do food which people have been familiar with. But there's innovations in that. So it's not the same regular Chinese cuisine that's happening. It's different, but yet at the same time familiar. So that's what it is.
Right, because you're talking to a tea and Chinese cuisine freak. So I am a chai addict, so any kind of tea I will not say no to. And so is for Chinese food. So this sounds very, very interesting, and I'm definitely going to be trying Fat Tiger.
Yeah, you must. It's good. I really love Fat Tiger, by the way. It's wholesome eating. It's good fun.
Yes, it sounds.
I know it's healthy. It's you can see the kitchen. You can see things. You know that everything is taken care of. Are taped. Whether it's a blast chiller or whether it's if certain frozen foods are there, they are going to the blast freezer. What I'm trying to tell you is state of the art equipment is everywhere. I think that's what makes the difference. Like I said, we don't really care about. Today we're not so worried about food costs zyada ho jayega. I'm not looking at that. I think we are trying to make an impact. We're trying to better like what we were doing with Keventers.
Correct.
And trying to make sure that people get good food, they get tasty food, they get hygiene. we are not so bothered about profits at this point of time. Good for people, it will come, right?
One thing you feel is indispensable in the industry in F&B.
One thing that's indispensable. I think you've got to be, it may sound very stale, but I think you've got to be very, integrity should be very high. Ethics and integrity, especially when you're dealing with customers. Don't fool them. Don't only look at, give them the best that you can. And they should also know that, look, if you're serving something for $100, there will be a difference between, and if you pay something and for the same product you're paying $500, right? There should be a distinct difference. It shouldn't be because my brand is this, so $100 while I'll sell it at $500. So if you see something which is more expensive, there should be at large, the vendors who care about sustainability. These are not just buzzwords, but I think these are words of the future. And if we go even at the cost of picking up something more expensive, F&B is not just about saving money and cringing on things and making sure there's huge profits. I think it's winning hearts, and that you do by when you look at society as a large, when you look at improving things. And this will be also, we're improving F&B business, we're improving our interaction with customers, we're improving lives of customers and guests. People get very upset, you have to call them guests. but these are smaller things. I'm only trying to say that so you have to be able to make an impact. And when you're genuinely able to create an impact.
And I think you stand by example and brands that
Yes.
you have.
I mean, the last thing is everybody wants to be successful. Yeah, look, the easiest thing is sell this, make money, take some shortcuts, but not at all. And I think F&B industry really requires that today.
Yes, absolutely.
And you should eat good food. What is going inside your tummy? You should get a tapeworm. You should get just because you picked up. There are many things, and I think our customers are getting far more conscious about what they're eating. They really care for the society at large. There are many things here, so we've got to adhere to that. I think.
What is the one trend according to you that the F&B desperately needs to change? Or if you could change one trend in the F&B industry, what would it be?
Today is the future of F&B today is doing familiar food, okay, and doing food that people understand. That's more like a strategic trend. But if you ask me what is the trend, I think we have to become an industry where we are also able to make ROIs quicker and be able to generate profits. So people have to become more intelligent. I'm talking from more B2B, not really, stop wasting money into bricks and mortar and trying to take the best, most expensive, good coat of paint, expensive furniture, and you've got to make ergonomics should speak for themselves. It should be very efficient planning. I think the size also needs to come down smaller. I think more and more restaurants. And one thing that definitely the trend is that, look, as per me, 5 years from now, it'll be more and more difficult to find the right chefs here to do. The more you're able to automate your business, the more fayda. Otherwise, these are jobs which will be hard later, because these chefs would have grown up and already working. But the new generation, it will be more robotics. It will be less creativity, but more of these automations. So this is something that every restaurateur needs to plan, and this is the future. So I think that's something that's going to impact the future for sure.
Absolutely. Very interestingly said and put. Now that was all talk of work. Now tell us, what does a typical day in the life of Sohrab Sitaram look like? And we know you're a busy man and you travel.
No, it's not that I'm that busy. But the thing is that look, it's the in life you should be able to take out time for everything. Now, I've got a lot of interest in hobbies, and I want to make sure that I'm there to pursue them. Yeah. Okay, so I make sure that even if I spend half an hour, 40 minutes, or 15 minutes on something, I will do it. I'm not a very organized person in the sense that every day I'll come and the same thing first, but so different days are for different things. There's some golf days, okay, where I go and play golf. When I'm not playing golf, that's how I begin my day. So I'm not playing golf, then I go to the gym. So I think a morning exercise routine is very, very important. I think at my age, especially strength training is very important. So, because the muscles, I need to be fit if I want to do, and I want to do more and more brands. So that's something. So health is wealth. It's a very cheesy line now, but the thing is that I think it's very important.
Yes.
So if you don't look after yourself, you can't do justice to the business, to people, to anything, yeah, to your family. So I think it's very important to remain healthy, which is why I'm saying eating right and making sure people who are coming to your place are also eating right. So I'm very particular about the morning exercises, which is a mix of strength training and cardio. Apart from that, there are certain hobbies that I have. I play the keyboard. I like to jam with the band. I used to play with a band called Estranged earlier, and we used to play a lot of classic rock and Guns N' Roses. So I'm a hardcore keyboardist. Yeah, I've been playing since a long time, and so we do a lot of blues. I'm trying to get my hand on jazz, but it's not coming through. But so my practice is pretty boring because I'm just playing scales. I get bored, then I play songs, but otherwise it's more scale oriented, and I try to learn more and more scales. So whether it's the jazz scale, or I'll go all out on the pentatonic scale, or I'll go the blues scale. And music is something that if you don't practice, then even one day if you don't practice, then you feel the difference. So your fingers lose the fluidity. So I think keyboard is something that I try to pick up the guitar. I found it a little difficult, so I'll stick to my keyboard. I can play the basic chords, but my transition is not smooth. But keyboard is something that I'm really fond of, yeah. And that's one interest that won't die. So,
but you have it here. I wish you can hear something.
No, not in the office. Yeah, but so I played for a lot of bands and all. I'm actually thinking of forming a band to actually play at events and because that's one hobby I have and I want to pursue it. Gives you very few things because the teamwork, the tempo, the timing of the creativity, going all out, playing the solos, not letting the other person play, grabbing the line, there are many things, yeah, that go to that. Right?
That's fantastic.
So I like music, so I like to spend a lot of time there. And work, of course, is just office, okay? And I like to travel a lot because the amount you learn in traveling, I think there's no substitute for traveling ever. And I'm making a point where the family is always there traveling because we want to give the maximum exposure to our kids because I've realized that's what it is. Yes. I spend time with the kids, for sure. But not on studies, I teach them sports. So it's more sports oriented, whether it's football, cricket, but I do spend time. Now they've got in drone flying. I love drone flying, yeah. So I've got my DJI that I fly regularly. Yeah. And it's lovely.
So, some interesting hobbies there.
Yeah, so these are things that I'm fond of, and my sport is actually swimming and diving, apart from golf. So diving is something that I'm not talking about deep sea diving and going, and I'm talking about so whether it's the 10 meter or the 3 meter springboard or 1 meter springboard. So these are my sport is actually springboard diving. Unfortunately, wherever you go, and I say a lot, come out with some ruling, they remove all the springboard. So people like us, and a swimming pool is very, very boring. You've got nothing to do, right? So earlier there was a time when there were springboards all around here, and you could go to the 5 meter board, do some stuff, enjoy. There's nothing better than a nice dive which you're able to execute well. It's better than everything else. A nice drive in golf and a nice dive.
Oh. That's very, very nicely put. So you do the twirls and everything. And
I mean, yeah. Take chances right now, and moreover, you can't find pools here where you can do it. So whenever I go, whenever we go to an army pool or an air force pool, then it's great fun, yeah, because those guys have everything.
Yes.
Right? The government doesn't want you to learn good sports here, so they've removed the springboard. Everything has become 4 feet deep. It's ridiculous. Right? So it's sad, yeah. But the good things in life, you've got to really struggle now. So apart from that, yeah, I play literally every sport. So I'm fond of all this. So if I get a chance to play, we are forever playing. Like I'll play sports every day and I can carry on. So there's no work. If even at the expense of work, I can play 3 days in a row. Yeah.
That's really good. That's fabulous because I think that's a lot of inspiration. I think for the people who are watching also. I mean, a man who
I'm able to take out time, yeah, in life.
Yes.
But the thing is that when work is required, then I'll sit even for 18, 19 hours. So then I don't care. My thing is that I don't like to work, like every day I do 4 hours or 5 hours work, and it doesn't work like that. So if there's its work, then I'd like to sit for 18, 19 hours at a stretch, even if it becomes 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock and I sleep, and then again make sure that I have time to do things. So I like to finish things. I don't like to... that's why I'm a little aggressive. So if you see, even with Keventers, even with Fat Tiger, now we're progressing very quickly because being aggressive has always helped me in achieving things faster.
Yes.
And even one thing that I do, I'm very fond of graphic novels and comics. For me, I can't read, which is where we were having this conversation earlier about reading newspapers and all that. So I find it very difficult. And I can read these cool books like Ayn Rand and everybody, the society talk about this book and that book. So if I have to read it, I have to actually pick up a graphic novel which talks about, say, the art of war, for example. Everybody's reading that book, but I can't read that. I have to get a graphic novel which has pictures and images and stuff like only then. So if there's some popular book, I try and get a graphic novel of that. But otherwise, I'm just into graphic novels. I've got a good collection. I like to buy graphic novels a lot, comics, and I think the creativity in comics, the artwork in comics far surpasses what is written in books.
Yes.
And the thing is that you learn a lot more when you actually look at the images.
Absolutely.
And so I like to do that. I don't read books at all, if you ask me. No, one off I read, but it's very boring.
I think that's a very, very enduring revelation. It's very, very nice. So,
no point, saying things with it because first thing everybody, oh my god, you'll see all ads. Oh, your CEO reads 500 books a day or something. I can't understand what these guys do, how they read 400 books a day or something, whatever they're doing. I think it's the most boring thing to do. Read comics, it's so much more.
That's true, I totally agree, and it's so much more relatable.
Yes.
So guys, here we have the jack of all trades and I think master of all trades too. And
very nicely. Very fun.
yes, of course. I mean, time management, success at business. I think it comes to very, very few with that kind of a mindset. I think it's very, very inspirational. And thank you so much, Sohrab, for taking out time and revealing so much about yourself.
Thank you so much for this. It's good talking to you.
Thank
All
you.
right.